Want to rise above what holds you back? These are the stories of those fighting that battle. It might also be the story of you. I'm Dan Waldschmidt, author of Edgy Conversations and strategist of billion-dollar companies all over the world. This is Mark Minard, author of The Story of You, the guy who knows a thing or two about never giving up. You're listening to Elevating Beyond. Let's get started.
And welcome back to Elevating Beyond with a two-word mission statement: change lives.
I can't do it. I don't know what to do. I've been through some hard stuff in my life, Mark, but this one, I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around how to get through this. And I'm telling you this. Impossible. That's right. Impossible is where every great adventure begins. I need your mindset to be like this, because here's the way it was. I know where you are. I've been there. I still go through there. And it started out like this. All of a sudden, there I was. It was like I fell into my body. Imagine a meteor crashing down from the sky, and my lifeless body's laying there, and boom! My eyes jolt open, and boom! I take a gasp of air. I have no idea where I am. All I can feel is the cold, gray concrete underneath me. So I look up, and the first thing I see is this big, burly, Hell's Angel looking dude staring directly at me with his giant grizzly beard. And then from behind me a door opens, and I hear a voice say, "Mr. Mark Minard, step outside, please." And so my 17-year-old body, feeling like I'm 90, manages to slowly get up, and I walk like a 90-year-old man across that floor, and I go outside the door, and when I get outside, I see a bunch of police officers. And I realize I'm in a jail. I have no idea how I had gotten here at this point. The cop talks to me. He says, "Mark, come sit down. We're going to take your mug shots." I'm discombobulated. I'm out of my mind. I'm thinking, what is going on? How did I get here? This is impossible. And I sit down to take my mug shots. And all of a sudden, an image pops up on the screen. And I look up at it, and the whole left side of the face is smashed in, swollen up, bruised up, beaten down and bloody. And I'm looking over at this mugshot that he took. I'm looking at that. I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that on the screen? And then all of a sudden, pain just starts shrilling in and pulsating, and I realize that's me. That's me. I'm in jail. My face is beat down and broken, and I've hit rock bottom. So listen to me. When you are in jail, you get to make one phone call. And I knew what I had to do. It had been about 2 months since I had spoke to my parents. And I picked up the phone to call them. The phone rings. On the other end, my mom answers. Hi Mom, this is your son. I'm in jail, and I please need you and Dad to come pick me up. And I put the phone down. And 20 minutes later, my parents show up. The first thing my mom does, she sees my face beat down, bruised, bloody. She runs and gives me a big hug. The only way a mother can hug a son. And I hug her back, and I'm crying, and she's crying, and my face is hurting. And as I put my face down on her shoulder, I catch eye contact with my dad, and I see him behind her. And immediately, before our eyes can meet, he looks down in shame. Complete shame. How did I get here? How am I going to get through this? Look where my life started. How do I even get out of this? And I'm going to tell all of you, one of the first, most important things for every season of your life is what my good man Michael Levine says: fire your flaky friends. Fire them. Fire your flaky friends for each season of life. Now listen to me. At that time, I can share more of that story of how I got there, what happened. It's in my book. I do it in my keynote. You hear it more, but listen to me. I was living in a trailer park, doing a lot of things, dealing drugs, doing drugs, everything you can imagine. And then I started to think about changing my life after I pretty much almost died. And listen to me. I started reading a book for the first time in my life, and I started maybe believing I could do something with my life. And so I shared with the guys I lived with at that time, that were my two roommates, that I thought had my back, and they had through thick and thin, and I thought they were my friends. And I shared with them, listen, you guys, I don't want to live this life anymore. Like, what are we doing? I'm going to end up back in jail? We're going to end up dead or killing someone else, or worse, I'm going to make a change. I'm thinking about going to college. And you know what they did? They laughed at me. They laughed at me. They said, Mark, you're a sellout, dude. Mark, that's weak, man. You're a sellout. You think you're going to be a college boy? You think you're going to be better than us? You think someone like you can go to college, Mark? That's impossible. And I'm telling you all, in life, it's a trend. I hear this word, it comes, and in the moment, self-doubt hits. Anxiety hits. Because a lot of people tell you, here's the next step, as I'm transitioning into the friends you choose in your life, to step out of your comfort zone, right? We hear it a lot. But it's one thing to take a leap of faith. But the hardest thing that's not talked about enough is staying out of your comfort zone long enough and not ever going back. Staying out of your comfort zone long enough until the next level becomes the new normal and this comfort zone no longer exists. And people act like stepping out of your comfort zone is a one-time act, and it's not true. It's a daily walk. It's face the impossible day in and day out. So number one, I gradually fired my flaky friends. I had to choose to stop hanging around with those people, because I'm telling you this, I thought they were my friends, but friends are people that celebrate your dreams. They encourage you to do bigger things in your life. They don't tell you things are impossible. They don't call you a sellout. They celebrate you to grow, and they challenge you to be better. So fire your flaky friends. And I'm telling you this, both those guys I lived with at that time are both dead now. I would have been number 3. One of them overdosed off Vicodin and a bottle of whiskey. He had 2 little girls. The other one was getting way too involved in cocaine and other things, and took a gun out one night and shot himself. Both of them are dead. I would have been number 3. 100% of the people I was with are dead. That would have been me. So you're telling me what you're facing is impossible, and I've been there. But I'm telling you, it's where every great adventure begins. So get around people that celebrate the impossible and challenge you to continue to go after it. Now the next thing that's very important, before you give up, a lot of you that are writing me this that are in that impossible and you've been over things before you throw in the towel, or like I say, maybe you threw it down for a minute. Because we all give up, and I've given up so many times, but you pick it back up and you get back in the arena. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to do that. You pick it back up, you get back in the arena, because this is the difference between if you have a wish or if you truly have a passion of something in you that's bigger than you. Because if what you have is just a wish, and you think that it's going to be easier than it is, and it's going to just happen the way you think it's going to happen, and you're not willing to crawl through hell, literally on your hands and knees, and climb out of hell and do whatever it takes until you become fireproof, until no longer does that comfort zone exist, until you become the person that this is now your new normal. You cannot be wishy-washy. You have to have a why and a belief in something that's bigger than you, or else you're going to give up. So if you're just doing it for the money, if you're just doing it for the cars, or to be able to brag about vacations, or for some selfish reasons, and all those things are okay to have, by the way, and I want you to have them, and you can have them. But if you don't have a why that's bigger than you to focus on, and when the storms hit, you're just wishy-washy, and the wishes will wash away. You have to have something that's bigger than you to believe in as you're going after it. I can't do that for you, but I need you to take time to think about it. At different seasons, different levels of my life, I knew what I had to do to get there. I knew for me, my first thing was going through college and making it through college. That was my first impossible. How was it bigger than me? Because I didn't want to end up dead. I knew that my life had a bigger meaning and a bigger purpose than the life that I was living. And also, what I had put my parents through. The shame that I saw in my dad's eyes that day. Every time I thought about giving up in college, when I was going through hell, I hate school. Every time I thought about giving up, I thought about the shame in my dad's eyes. I thought about what I put him through. I thought about the old life I was living. And it made me so thankful to be here. And if I got through that, I knew I could get through this. And I knew I'd be so honored to make my parents proud and to live a life that's bigger than the life I had been living. And it wasn't just about me saying I could get a college degree. It was bigger than me. You have to have something that's bigger than you. Number 3. This is important. Gratitude. Yep, we hear the word gratitude thrown around so much. But listen, gratitude is like a superpower that we all have access to. And I'm going to share with you a little story here of something and a way to remember it, a way that I use it. We all go through storms. They're always going to come and go. But there I was in the beautiful sunlight in Sierra Leone, West Africa, on this amazing exotic vacation with my parents. A private beach. Imagine the sun coming down as you see fresh mango trees. Literally picking a fresh mango with the sun on you and taking a juicy bite out of it. Hearing the ocean waves crashing behind you. Of these beautiful crystal blue waters. And I'm walking on the sandy beach. My family's with me. It's one of the most beautiful, amazing, hypnotic things I've ever seen, with the jungles, the mountains. It's incredible. It was like paradise. And then all of a sudden we hear behind me someone screaming down the road. There's a little dirt road. We hear screaming. We hear noise. I hear a mom saying, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" And she's crying. She's in tears, screaming, "God, God, help! God, why? God!" And everyone's crowded around. I see a circle of people. And I start to go over there and I say, what is going on? And the people that we're with, we had a guy that was with us that lived there locally. He stopped me. He said, Mark, stop. Hang on a second, because he had to assess the situation. He grew up there. There was a little girl, probably 3 years old, laying there on the dirt road dead. And I said, we need to go help her. And he says, stop, Mark, we don't know what she has. She might have something that we've never heard of that you could catch and it could kill you. We don't know what to do. You can't go there, man. Stop. She's dead. And I see the mom screaming and crying in agony. God! And they pick her up, this little girl. They wrap her up. They pick her up. And they start walking down the dirt road. And I asked them, where are they going? Where are they going to take her? They said, well, they're not going to have money to do a burial, and they're going to probably need to just burn the body. And in that moment, I realized no ambulance showed up. You can't dial 911 from Sierra Leone, West Africa, and have an ambulance show up if you're even ever lucky enough to find a hospital there. And when I got back to America, it made me realize to be grateful that I don't care what area you live in, the richest, the poorest, some of the worst ghettos, the worst places in the country, you pick up that phone and you dial 911 and an ambulance shows up. So be grateful for this, for ambulances. Be grateful for hospitals. I don't care about what type of health care you're on. Be grateful you can dial 911 and an ambulance will show up. Because this little girl, they didn't even have an ambulance in existence. That was a reality check for me. When I'm going through hard times, I have to think about things to be grateful for that are way bigger than these problems that I'm facing. If it's something a doctor or a money can fix, then I've heard it's not a real problem. Number 4, the danger of giving up too soon. And this is called mastering the breaking point. This is what I'm talking about, of when you're in the comfort zone and you take that first step and then you take a little step more. And the breaking point is when you finally get to where you look back and no longer does this comfort zone even exist, because the breaking point means you've made it to the new level. And it's not just about the dream manifesting, but it is who you have become. You've become a new person at a new level that can't even comprehend that old comfort zone, because you've made it to the top of that dream's journey, and it's about who you become along the way. And I can't explain this enough about making it through that breaking point. This is when 99% of people give up. We hear it all about the 1%. But it's not that 1% of people are capable of doing their dreams. 100% of people are capable of doing their dreams. The problem is 99% of people give up. They throw in the towel. And I'm telling you, you have to continue to master that breaking point, and you're tired, you're weary, and then another storm hits, and you're beat down, then finances hit, then you're struggling in your marriage, and then boom, it's like you're getting beat down over and over, and I get it, and you want to give up, and then your feelings are all over the place, and your anxiety strikes. And this is where you have to never trust your feelings. Never, ever, ever make a permanent decision based on short-term feelings. You keep going at it. One day. You keep going at it one day, one step at a time. You keep going at it. You remember to be grateful that an ambulance will show up if you call 911. You keep going after it. You don't give up. You continue to focus on that why that's bigger than you. What would happen if I gave up? You keep going. You keep going. It's like Jay-Z said, The genius thing that we did is we never gave up. You keep going until boom, you break through that breaking point and you realize all of a sudden, not only has your dream become a reality, but you have become an entirely new person at a whole new level, and you've mastered a breaking point. And then you're able to climb an even bigger mountain. But until you learn to continue to master this first breaking point, you will never be successful. If you keep giving up here and keep giving up there and think it's going to be easier a different time or a different day, I have some real news for you. It won't be. This isn't some 30-day crap class to make $100,000 in 30 days. This is a masterclass of life, of elevating beyond in business, of what it truly takes. And I'm telling you, yep, they say the 1%. But 100% of people, of human beings, all have it within them to do it if you don't give up. And I'm going to give you one more example. I have it. A team member sent me this. This is why it's bigger than you. This is why you can't give up. I save things like this. I still go through storms. I still go through anxiety. I still go through self-doubt. I keep things like this around to remind me of my why. A team member sent me this. They said, "Hey Mark, I know it's late at night and I don't expect you to reply to this, but I wanted to let you know how much Dream Shine is impacting my life." 4 years ago on Monday, my dad passed away. And almost 4 years ago in January, I had to make the decision to put my mom in a nursing home. It's been 4 years, but for some reason, it's really, really hard on me this year. Working at Dream Shine has changed my entire life. This is more than just a place I work at. This is like a big family to me. I feel appreciated. I feel like I'm being heard. And if I'm having a bad day, the staff, the dream team actually care and want to help from the culture that's been created here. This place has taught me to be a better me and be more positive me, and I can't thank you enough. This place is like the family that I never had, and I can't thank you enough, Mark, and I will never forget that feeling. This is my why. If I would have given up, this never would have happened, let alone the over 50 individuals with special needs that we serve whose lives were changing, but also it's about the people on your team and the lives that have changed through them, the speaking, the books. It's not about you. It has to be bigger than you. This is Mark Minard, everyone. This has been phenomenal doing these 12 days of Elevating Beyond in Business Masterclass. I've loved all your comments. Keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. I'll do another special session if you keep bringing on the questions, and get ready for many more adventures to come. God bless and persist.